Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Aden Barton and I'm a senior here. And I'm still surprised about the pace of time these past 6 years. First, I want to thank Mr. Joya and the admissions department for giving me the opportunity to speak today about my MBA experience. In some ways, my path to and within MBA was pre-scripted and predictable. My brother went here, and because of that history, my family had some ties within the community. But in other ways, my route at MBA was unpredictable and a little uncommon. While my brother immediately went into the 7th grade and started football and then wrestled in the winter, I was not so athletically gifted. But I didn't know it at the time. In fact, I was sure that I was the best tennis player in our grade. Yet, I failed to make the tennis team not 1, not 2, but 3 times. And so, I joined the debate team. Of course, I was upset at the time, but now I'm incredibly thankful that Coach Davidson made the sage choice to deny me, both for my sake and for the tennis teams. Now, I've done debate every single quarter of MBA, and I don't regret a second of it. I think that's a lesson that if you don't know what you want to do right now, or if you're just not particularly good at anything, that's okay. Because at MBA, it's hard to fail. Every time you miss an opportunity, a new one arises. But I think the differences between my brother and me are reflective of something larger than just our different athletic ability. They're reflective of the environment in which we are placed. MBA doesn't mold you into any particular form. In fact, it actively encourages you to seek out different activities. Whether you want to be a musician, a chess player, a tennis player, or an actor, not only do you have the ability to simply participate in those activities, but you have the ability to excel in them. I can't think of another place that simultaneously has the best debate coaches in the country, a world-class recording studio, tennis courts fit for an Olympic game, a nationally ranked mock trial team, and a wood-fired pizza oven to top it all off. So you can see that my path at MBA was a bit of a zigzag more than a straight line. Even though my brother went here, he had graduated by the time I entered. And at first, I felt out of place. I came from USN and I was one of only 2 kids to come here. So I didn't know any of the St. Paul or any of the Oak Hall kids. I'm sure I was like many of you are right now, unsure whether I even wanted to attend this place. And to be honest, the only reason I came here is that my brother convinced me to try it out, not out of some great passion for a school that I was apathetic for at best. But I'm glad I held out, because over time, the distinction between the USN kids, the Oak Hall kids, and the St. Paul kids dissolved, and we were left as MBA students. And I think that is the greatest strength of MBA, to combine radically different groups of people and to make them incredibly close. When I talk to students at other schools in Nashville or at schools around the country from debate, I'm struck by the dissimilarity of our high school experiences. Their tales parallel something out of High School Musical, with all of its cliques and with all of its drama. But at MBA, I've never known that to be the case. I've never experienced bullying or seen exclusive social grouping. And I think my friend group is a good example of that. Our group is made up of a nationally ranked Indian chess player, a 6'7" state champion discus thrower, a track runner who is also the editor of our school newspaper, and then me, a Jewish debater. And I say that not as a reflection on me or my friends, but as a reflection on the school. If you were to survey any friend group here, you would be rewarded with an equally varied list. Another example comes to mind when thinking about the school football team. Last year, I had a physics test every other Friday during the last period, and our school quarterback, William Tyrone, was in my class too. And I think it was really special that we would study together Thursday night, and then hopefully pass the test Friday afternoon, and then I would see him that night on the field, and I would be cheering him along with all of our other friends. But that's not uncommon here. The football players support the musicians, who support the soccer players, who support the actors. Those examples go on, but you get the point. And really, I do Tyrone a disservice when I dub him just a football player, or when I homogenize groups like the actors. No one here is as one-dimensional as that. You'll find that half the soccer team also sings in the choir, or the athletics team also has the best riflery shooters on campus, or the writers on the school paper also serve on the honor council, or the people speaking before you also play the violin. And above all of that, above our individual talents, we're brothers in the long red line. And I think the reason for that connection, that strength of unity between us, is that all the students here, we're all united in our common struggle, our common challenge. And that might sound negative, but I mean it in the most possible positive way. MBA pushes you to the limit, and then it pushes you farther. It's challenging, it's difficult, but that's what I love about this place. I think it says a lot about MBA that the worst experiences I've ever had here is just some nights with a lot of homework. It's a type of intellectual and extracurricular adversity that produces men who are very different than the boys who entered the school 6 years earlier. We're continually challenged in a way that precludes complacency and forces us to be better versions of ourselves. It's not just that we're smarter or that we know more than we did. Yeah, we've read Shakespeare and we've studied differential equations, but it's the thought process and the discipline that MBA instills in us more than any individual class lesson. We leave this place with a form of self-accountability and a way of viewing the world that I think is very uncommon for high schoolers. It's not so much college that we're prepared for, but the adult world overall, time management, making complex decisions, and working with others. And MBA produces men with those skills and that skill set because the school is hard at times. I won't lie to you. But the result of that intensity is that we all have each other's backs because we're all going through it together. We may fall and we may stumble along the way, but I know at the end of the day, my brothers will be there beside me to help me get up. So yeah, just like any other school, there are challenges. But unlike any other school I know, everyone around you is as invested in your success as you are. And I can confidently say, as someone nearing the end of his time here on the Hill, that the trek is worth it and it is incredibly rewarding. So you see, it's not just the ability to excel that MBA offers, it's the ability to excel together that I think makes this place so special. Thank you for listening. I hope that I was able to communicate some of the reasons I find MBA so special. Thank you.